Welcome back to the channel. Hope so guys you are doing well. Today in last lecture we discussed various things related to the PHP and HTML, and we have discussed a lot of things. We have started the PHP, you know very well. So guys, our today's agenda is related to PHP variables, and in last video we discussed that there are many types of the variables. There are many types of you can say scope variables. We discussed the global variables, static, and local as well. So this is the from last previous lecture. These are the things. So I'm not discussing this one because we already discussed that how we declare, create, okay, the PHP variables. Okay, we also went over to the last lecture what are the rules for PHP variable scopes. We discussed the local and the scope, sorry, global and the local. We discussed in last lecture. That's how local variable works and how the global will works. Okay, so our today's agenda is related to how we assess the global scope variable outside the function, sorry, inside the function. Okay, we cannot assess the global scope variable inside the function. So in this tutorial we discussed that how we assess the global scope variable inside the function. So global scope is what? These are the things that variables declared outside the function and can be assessed only outside the function. This is the global scope variable. And the local scope is what? A variable with a function that can only defined inside the function and assessed only inside the function. Okay, this is a local scope and the global scope concept. So today we are discussing the PHP, the global keyword, how we are assessing the global scope variable inside the function. So guys, if you are new to my channel, kindly do subscribe, like, comment, and share your friends. So let's start this lecture and moving to the next things. We discussed in the last lecture that global keywords, how we assessing the global scope variable inside the function. Now this is our today's agenda. Okay, how we assessing this? The simple way is the global keyword is used to assess a global variable for with a function. Okay, when you use the global keyword inside the function, you can assess that variable inside the function. Okay, these things we practically do in the code when we move to that. So let's first of all do some theoretical things and try to understand that what it says. Next thing guys, we have some new things that to do this we use a global keyword before variables inside the functions. Okay, so how we assessing the global scope variable? Okay, inside the function we simply add the keyword global inside the function. When we are adding the global keyword inside the function, we can assess that variable inside the function. Okay, so next thing, PHP also stores all global scope variables is in an array called the global index. Okay, PHP also stores global variables. Okay, how you define this? The dollar, then that variable name, like for example name. Okay, then same name you have, sorry, this is not array comes, just name. Then you have to put in array, for example name, you have to store in array and then in simple quotes. So this is the PHP global, you can say index. The index holds a number of the variables, and this array is also accessible within the function and can be updated global variables directly. So we will move to the code and just try to understand the things that what it says. So I have opened my text line editor. So let's move to the guys and try to understand. Let me first comment of this first part of the code. Actually, guys, the rest of the things are same that we discussed, that this HTML hash dog type, this is the standard declaration of HTML. Okay, this is a body tag. I told you everything which have written is run in always in the body code. Okay, everything you have to write. Okay, everything you have to write inside the body, it will execute. Okay, so we have defined the PHP and we have defined the variables. This one I see, I have written that I love is PHP. So what I said, I just stored in this C variable. So what I said, what I did, I just defined echo, one of my favorite language, which hash $C. So when I enter that variable inside that, you see the result, what the result will happen. Let's move to the result and see. Let me first save the file and just move to the sorry, let me open that the browser, then we will work that how we do this. Just give me 1 minute. I'm opening the Google. Okay, I'll just try to assessing the things. Okay. Hope so guys, screen is visible to you. We are now just running and compiling this code and see the result that what will happen. Hope so guys, you see the things. Let me uh, sorry, just give me 1 minute guys. I'm just assessing it. Yes. Now, guys, I am assessing the local host. As you see, I am assessing that one. So I just place a enter line. It says that cannot declare my test previously defined, because the reason is that I already defined my test function in the various part of the code. So I am just changing that part, and I have written just a minute what it says. Okay, let me first comment out this one. Actually, it is talking about this one. So I am just saving this and see the result, what the result will come here. Let me refresh the page and see the result. Actually, it same says on line number 55, on line number 76, it gives you an error. Let's check why it is giving an error on line number 76. Line number 76. Yeah, here we have defined. So let me first comment it out so that it will not work. Okay, I'm just commenting this multi-line comment. Okay, so I have just comment this. Now let's see it will work or not. The first part of our code, it will work or not. Let's see. Let me refresh the page. Undetermined comment starting. Actually, I have not closed that comment. So let me move to that one. So I am just closing it. Sorry. I'm just closing it here. That is the static sign, and then with this slash. Now let me save and move to the dash one and see the results. It will work or not. Yes. Now see it will work. What is actually the error? Actually, I use the same function in many codes. That is my code. Okay, my code function I used in various times. That's why it gives an error. So this is the first part of code I have done. That one of my favorite language which I love is PHP. So this is what I just have written. I love this PHP in a variable, that is C. I have written. So when I echo this statement, and in place of this one, I just have written this $C. So what it did is actually combine my these two and give me the result. If I move to the code as well, you can see and observe very well that let me do this one. So yeah, here. So here we are here. This one, as you see, I have written this in declared in the C, and one of my favorite language, which is watch, and then I just have written this variable where I have stored I love is PHP. So it simply displays the result. This is the last whole things I just find this one. So that's why I shared with you. Now let's move into our new things. Okay, let me what it did. Let me raise it down and let me uncomment this one also. I'm just uncommenting this one guys, and let's try to understand this one. You can also guys do what you gonna do. You always okay, you always declare the variables okay inside the function, and if you want to add, subtract, multiply, you can. As you see, I defined two variables, that is $x, and I have saved 15 in it, and in $y I have saved 20. And when I both multiply, let's see the result, it will work or not. Let me show you the screen. Okay, output screen, will it work or not. I think I have not saved the file correctly. Let me move down and just give me a minute. Let me save this file. Okay, this is the file. Let me save it correctly. Now let's see if it will work or not. Let me refresh the page. Yes, now it's worth 300. When I multiply, as you see the result guys, it is 300. When I multiply 15 and 20, the variables which I defined, and in the console screen, when I said that multiply these X and Y here on this line, You can add, subtract, multiply, and divide whatsoever you want. You just multiply in the output screen. Echo, I told you that echo is used to display. So even you performed operation as well, multiplication. So it actually gives you the 300 for this 15 and 20. So here my HTML has closed. So this is also a very good example that how you define various variables, okay, and how you multiply with each other. Also this part of this one is also clear to you. Let me now uncomment this one and try to understand what is this one. So I am just saying, yeah, here, where is the I uncommented? Yes, here one. I uncommented this code, and let's try to understand that what is this one. So it says, guys, simply the code is very simple. Hash we define. These are all are the tags. Okay, if you are not familiar with the tags, this will discuss when we start the HTML. These are the tags. Whenever you start the tag, you always close the tag. That in this way that tag will work. Okay, otherwise the tag will not work. In HTML simple. You say it consists of the tags. Okay, whenever you use the tag, you must use the open and the starting tag. Okay, so this is the PHP I defined, just neglect this one which I commented, that is Z. Just I have defined the variable that is 13 and I use the global this one. Okay, when I use global this one, what I did, I'm just raising this all, and let's give you the concept. Okay, I just uncomment this one. Okay, I'm just commenting this, I'm just, you say uncommenting this one, this line. Okay, I just uncomment. Now what I did, as I defined one variable, just imagine that only this variable is present, that is $u, which is 13, and this is outside the function I declared. Now I am using the global scope variable inside the function, because we know that the global only be assessed outside the functions. Now I am teaching you that how you assess the global scope variable inside the function. So what you're gonna do, you just define first variable, that is I defined here, that is $u, which is 13, and I assigned a value 13. Now you use the function my test, and what you did, you just have to define the global keyword inside. Once you define the global keyword, you just use that variable, whatever the variable you defined. As I defined $u, so I have put in $u. As a result, if you see that I just simply that variable inside, now you see it will work outside the function as well as inside the function. I just, what I did, I just use the keyword global, and I use that variable simple. This actually second line is commented. Okay, I'm not discussing this one, I'm just simply telling you how the global keyword works. Okay, so let me save the file, guys, first, and let's move to the running of this code, audience. Let me move to that one. Just guys, give me a minute. I am just moving to that screen. Yes, guys, let me refresh the page, and as you see, guys, my result is this. Inside the function it is also working, and outside the function it is obviously working. What I did, I just use the global keyword inside the function, and it allows me to use inside the function. So this is a simple concept. Now let's move back to the code and just try to now change some things. Guys, be remember that you can always do, as I am also commenting this, commenting of this line, you use two variables as well. As the second variable I defined, that is $z. So if you want to add, you can, you just use the global keyword, define that these two inside, as you see, $u and $z I defined. Okay, I defined, and I just want to add these two, so I added. And if you see the result for this one, you can also, and let me give some time to refresh the page. Yes, as you see, 28. What I did, it's just simply add. Okay, it's add that two variables, okay, which I assigned a value to each variable, is actually adds these two one. Okay, it's actually add these two one and shows you the result of 28. This is how you use the global keyword inside the function using the global keyword. Okay, so this is what actually you can also multiply, add, subtract, multiply, just giving you the concept that how you use the global keyword inside the function. Okay, you just need to add the global keyword, add I had here global, here global. Okay, I defined first grow, you just remove this as well. global U. Okay, why I defined this global U first? Because I want to store the result of Z and U in U. Okay, that's why I defined this one. So rest of the things are same. Let me guys move to the next code. Hope so things are very easy. You just need to practice this one, and let me raise this all code, and let's try to understand this one, that how this will work. Now I am just uncommenting this one because as we know that it gives an error. So I'm just now the last thing which we are discussing, that you use a global index in PHP, okay, in variables as here. You just define these two variables, okay, function my test, you use the globals. Okay, when you are defining the global one, you always store that variable inside an array. As you see, I defined X and Y, and I want to store the result in Y. So what I did, I just add dollar global X plus dollar global Y, and I just want to store in the global of Y. You can simply see in any language when you want to store something here, you can use Z as actually what we did, you just want to add these to one. So adding is very simple. Just use a dollar global sign, because globally you are adding. How you globally adding? Because this is outside the function, these two variables are declared. Okay, that's why you are assessing this using global keyword, I told you. Okay, so what you did, you just simply add inside that variable in simple quotes. You use the array and you add that with global keyword, and the result will be displayed on the screen. I am also showing you the result as well. Hope so you will understand the things. If I run the screen and show you the result, yes, as you see, the 15 result will appear. So as you see, this is working. This is very simple code, guys. Just you need to define the variables and just store, add these two one and store in the third one. Like in many other languages, we know that if you want to add, for example, X plus Y, obviously the third variable is need to store that result. So Z you use to store X and Y results. So same case we did here. Actually, we did not use the new variable. We just simply use the last one, $y, which is already defined. If you use a new variable, you need to define here. You need to define here the third variable which you want to store the result of these X and Y. So this is guys how global index of PHP will work. Hope so guys you will like my video. Kindly do subscribe, like, share with your friends.